the top, right? We like, what was we talking about? Okay, the union of opposites. Alright, so we could really crack it off with the male-female thing. Like, I was asking thoughts about that as well. Let me turn that up, make sure they can hear it too. Turn that up.
Yeah, sure. You want to start off with shit?
Man, you crack it off.
Yeah, shit. I just say, you know, as we all know, as most of us know, at least in America, you know what I'm saying, there's a huge discrepancy between male and female, you know what I'm saying, and just the nature of gender, period, you know what I'm saying. And it has cause for us to see each other, natural beings, natural people are supposed to be working together, just like any other species would, you know what I'm saying. It has caused us to see each other in such a almost alienated way, or classified, separate way, that now we can't even get along in the natural way that we actually are supposed to, and really can, you know what I'm saying. It's alarming on, you know, more levels than one. So, yeah.
Oh, for real, it's like the world feels so divided in a way. Like, everything seems so divided right now. And it's like, why is that for real? You know, this shit crazy. The more you think about it, you like, shit, you know? The only real reason that division is happening is because of, like, the programming and shit.
Exactly.
I mean, free will at the end of the day, but obviously, you know what I'm saying, niggas is choosing some crazy shit for many reasons.
And that's what you said it too, the programming, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people is like, a lot of these thoughts have been given to us, you know what I'm saying? They say that shit a lot, you know, in the occult shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you really have to like seek out original thought, you know what I'm saying, and question shit in your mind, you know what I'm saying, especially long-standing shit from childhood, shit from, you know what I'm saying, even teenagers, just long-standing beliefs,
Keep talking, I'll be right back.
Yep, long-standing emotions, you know what I'm saying, and once you are able to get even into the headspace of being able to question these things and fathom something different or greater or transcendent, then you can get past your ego into the heart, in which will let you be able to have more honest conversations, not only with yourself but with the opposite sex and shit, people in general, you know what I'm saying. So people like to say that male and female refer to each other as the opposite sex. Me, I don't personally like to say that. I mean, I say it in normal conversation, whatever, but me, I like to call it a complementary sex. We are complementary to each other. You know, male and female is two sides of the same coin. Heads and tails. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, we try to emphasize fragments of each other's characteristics, and really they just characteristics that we pin to each other, even though we both do shit. You know what I'm saying? We might not do it in the same exact way for biological reasons or whatever, but we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, and for example, like niggas like to call women crazy and emotional, because they argue and they communicate in a certain way that we don't necessarily communicate in. But niggas are crazy too, and we do emotional shit too. And a lot of times it be more volatile, such as acting out violently and, you know, just other stupid shit, you know what I mean? And it's not about getting on one side or the other. It is about having accountability and being honest about what's going on, but it's about not ending the conversation there and getting to a place of, okay, yes, these things are happening, but where do they come from? And B, how do we get onto some new information to get past this? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where the conversation has gotta lead to and actually start. As far as the male and female shit, you know what I'm saying? That's when shit will get better, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like one way to do that is to just study the nature shit, you know what I'm saying? There's male and female in nature, you know what I'm saying? Gender is a natural aspect of life, you know what I'm saying? And I know in this society, the modern society, whatever you want to call it, they don't try to like add gender, misconstrue shit, and this ain't no disrespect to nobody who, you know, feel whatever they is, whatever it is. But at the same time, nature is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And it has its purpose, you know, and humans try to, you know, write their purpose on top of that shit as if that's really something that exists. You know what I'm saying? And the only way it really exists is in people's minds collectively making the shit real. But in nature, in real actual life, this shit is not real. You know what I'm saying? Just like how people say, oh, normal is fucking crazy. We doing a lot of shit that's so called normal that's fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? That's not natural. So, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, like, yeah, just it leading back to solution-based combo, and then practical ways of understanding each other and coming together. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, we are two sides of the same coin. So heads and tails, just even in that shit, people like to say heads is the more valuable, the more favorable, whatever. That's just another way we fragment things. That's just a small example. It's like the point is these signs or whatever are on the same coin, and people want to emphasize heads or they want to emphasize tails as the thing to point the finger at or the thing to whatever, you know what I'm saying? But in actuality, it's a fucking penny. You know what I'm saying? It's one penny. Like, whether you want to say it's heads or tails. And that's where the conversation kind of needs to start. It's like, okay, there is a heads and there is a tails, but there's also, it's on one fucking penny. You know what I mean? So that's just that's my little spirit.
So when we talking about stuff like that, that play directly into like kind of logic versus emotion, you know, what something is versus how you feel about it. And it's crazy because with dualistic shit, you see it one way and it's like, okay, the emotion could carry you to an outcome that seemed like nonsense, right? You be like, oh, niggas say don't be emotional, you know, boom, 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 you're gonna crash out X, Y, Z. They call that emotion. In the same token, the emotion could transform you into something amazing versus going with the logic, because the logic is what a lot of the dogma get wrapped up into, and that's how it get delivered to us is through what we know as logic. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even hear everything you were saying, like all the way shit. I just caught the last tail end of it, but it's all what I'm hearing. It sounds like there's a dualistic nature, but people tend to divide. But somehow you missing that all of this is a part of the same literal thing.
Yeah.
You looking at the light side of my hand versus the very slightly darker side of my hand. It's a hand.
Fact.
You feel me? Like type shit. When people get into this like emotional state, it's important to understand if that ain't equaling amazing shit, then there's a balancing that need to happen, because your emotions is actually, to me, like that's your magic. That's how you fuel the engine of whatever ship or whatever boat you ride. You feel me? You need them emotions to fuel it. But that's why they try to keep you divided so that you don't, you know. That's why the powers that be, the day-to-day programming, the food you eat, that everything has been intended to keep your own self divided, meaning your mind, meaning your identity, anything that you think is, you know what I'm saying? some form of right or wrong, even that itself, right? Looking at things as right and wrong, right? Because there are some things that are so clearly fucked up, you know, but then you change one little detail and now it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this person killed, you know, XYZ, another kid, you know what I'm saying, or another their mom or something. But then you find out, like, that's fucked up. But then you find out, oh, the mom was molesting this nigga, or the little kid was doing insert some other fucked up thing that make it okay. It's always some exception to some bullshit.
That's the shit with the moral shit. People get wrapped up in that shit, the good and bad. And it's like you said, you know, it's all perspective. It's based on who is saying what and who is affected from what angle. You know what I'm saying? And it's like shit. Something I've been really emphasizing in my own, I guess, studies or whatever is just the fact that, okay, yeah, there are definitely fragments. Shit, that's what this shit is. It's all fragments, you know what I'm saying? And the fact is not acknowledge that their fragments do exist, but it's to acknowledge that they are what they are, and that's fragments. And what are fragments? They are part of a holistic thing. And I don't mean that shit in the sense of like for example, when people be saying shit like, we're all one and shit like that. Like, I believe that's true, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't necessarily think that means that we need to all be hugging and doing group activities. Like,
so what you're saying in the way, not to cut you off, not to cut your knowledge, is there's value in the individual at the baseline. We can at least say that the individual, there's something to be had there.
And it's funny too. It's like a little paradox. Even in the book, I was saying that shit, like, between the collective unconscious and the, I guess, ego. You know what I'm saying? The personal, whatever. It's like living here, like that personal experience does count for something, but it can easily get inflated into mistaking itself for the collective unconscious or for God or for, you know, whatever word or symbol thing you want to call it, but you can get that shit misconstrued, and it's a balance between that shit. And that's just another example of shit, opposite, so to speak, that can be unionized, you know what I'm saying? A dualistic nature, you know what I'm saying? And it's like shit, like one thing in the book I was reading, which is Ego Archetype by Edward Edinger, is he was speaking on how babies, when they first come into the world, they concept of themselves is God. You know what I'm saying? Before they even speak, before they have the subconscious assumption that, you know what I'm saying, and not even necessarily on an egotistical level. You know what I'm saying? It kind of does grow into that the more they live. You know what I'm saying? But the brilliance and also the hectic shit with the baby is that they are of that nature, and they're coming from a preconditioned state, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're coming just into the world. You haven't learned language, and even if you have, you ain't learned really how social programming and all that shit has worked just yet, you know what I'm saying? So it's like...
But the babies be coming here with some shit too, though. Let's not forget that.
No, for sure. And I ain't trying to, I'm just saying, you born into a thing that's gonna make you unconscious. Not saying that you...
On some physical level. Just to split it up real quick, to solidify it, is like, with every single... That's a point I want to always, like, kind of come back to as well, is they split shit up on purpose, but it's also important to look at things from different perspectives. Because looking at a baby from a physical perspective, save the babies, they coming into this... I mean, look at what you coming into. You know what I'm saying? Just look around at your current events and shit. Like, so that's on the physical level. Now, when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, you might see XYZ meaning XYZ. You know, they actions that, oh, this kid bad. No, that ain't a bad kid. He a powerful leader. he got his head, you know.
That's a fact.
But then it's crazy because this shit get called craziness or whatever, or just not acknowledged as something valid because people don't be in tune with themselves for real. And it's crazy because even through not being, even though they not in tune, they still in tune type shit. You can never take away the true harmony, which is like life inside of you and the messages coming through. Like sometimes you know something without even consciously knowing that you know it, but you done figured it out though. You know, so I just want to throw that in there too.
No, for sure. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like you said, it's mainly on the physical level. Because, like, yeah, they, especially, you know, melanated babies, you got a soul, and that's indestructible while you here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like shit, yeah, you born into the cesspool and you finna go through the motions, but ultimately your soul, like, you good. Especially if you one of the people that's on the journey of self-awareness. And that eventually you're gonna wake up and become conscious of that thing. You know what I'm saying? But even if you're not that person, you know what I'm saying, it'll still be that way. But like you said, just being conscious of it does make a huge difference. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just to go back to the topic.